All right, shalom, shalom. Before I begin, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. I want to give a double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders that rule well. Also want to give a shalom to the hopeful 144,000. Give the men that are magnifying Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai on the highways and hedges as we're commanded to. And so I just want to do a quick in transit lesson. It was just on my mind about the temple, the spiritual temple. Our bodies are not even our own. You could find that in the scriptures, 1 Corinthians 6 and 19, where the Lord says basically we are not our own. We're supposed to and required to have faith. We're required to serve Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai in these bodies that we're in. And that's basically the sacrifice. You go to Romans 12, which I'm gonna grab real quick. Let's see. Yeah, because we have to make our bodies a living sacrifice. Once we have this truth, it's basically the spirit that the Most High gave us, and whatever He allows for us to understand is basically what where He has us, each and every one of us, at our appointed times. So this is Romans this is Romans 12 and 1. It says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice. Yeah, because we're dead to this world. 1 John 2 and 15 says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Okay, so and what is love? What is that love? The love is basically the law, statutes, and commandments that He gave us, and that's the way we can be, let's say, molded. That's the benchmark. Let's just say, like when you build a building, you have to have the ground. You have to go off a benchmark. If you're building a room, anything, you have to go off a benchmark, right? You have to pick your high side and go from there. Well, our foundation is Yahweh Shai, and the love of the Father is the keeping of His laws, the fear of Him, right? The fear of, once you get this knowledge, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, knowing that you're an Israelite, okay? And who are the Israelites? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is what we're calling ourselves now. And so we're returning back to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai through the Spirit and power of His Spirit that He gave us. And we become living when we're dead to this world. Once we're in this truth, it's pretty easy not to go back. Well, I want to say easy, because there's some things that are, certain things that you're tempted by, certain imaginations. I mean, we're in this flesh, it's a battle. So let me read this again real quick. Romans 12 and 1. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy meaning, basically, everything you do, everything you say, how you treat people, is you have to use this wisdom that the Lord gave us, and the holy meaning you have to separate yourself from, basically kill off that old man and separate yourself from certain people that will influence you or will tempt you. But basically, just you got to kill off that old person, and get rid of it. And along with all the people that go along with it, including even family members too, cousins, uncles, aunts. You don't really have to, just basically just do the work. Basically study to show yourself approved. And make sure that the fear of the Lord is in you. But really, I mean, all in all, we really can't have that without Him. That's all of Him anyways. That's all of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai anyways. So It says holy, acceptable unto the Most High. So there's something that he's accepting. There's instructions on how to be accepted, right? And then it says, which is your reasonable service. So that's the reasonable service, is to give back what the Most High has taught you, what Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua has taught you, because it's him that's opening your mind to receive, oh man, what did that brother say? What did that elder say? What did the apostle say? Boom, you write that down. That's of the Lord. Everything's of the Lord. Anything that comes out of man's mouth is of the Lord. And so you have to be, ears open all the time, ready to take notes, ready to, basically understand what the scriptures are saying. That's the job right there, and to endure, those temptations that may hit you from time to time, those imaginations, those fleshly desires, being right here in Babylon the Great, which is America, but according to the scriptures is Babylon the Great. This is a place of great wickedness. Everything here is totally against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai and his men and his children, the children of Israel. So let me get this real quick. Let me keep reading on that. Romans 12:2. It says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. See that? So you have to be transformed, and you have to renew your mind. So you can't think the way you were thinking before. You can't cut any corners. You can't try to hop the fence and get in. You got to come in the straight way, right? It says that you may prove what is that good, that acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. See, because he has a perfect will, which is that doctrine. That's what it's all about, is the doctrine and understanding what the scriptures are saying. Being diligent. Hey, what does this mean? What does that mean? Study. And that's what it's about. And that's how you perfect your fear of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, because, there's things in the scripture that are contained in the scriptures that, you may not even know. And years later, you find out, oh, damn, if I would have known that a year ago, if I would have known that 2 years ago. But you see, the Most High is long suffering, and bit by bit, he shows you love by giving you more information, more wisdom, more knowledge and understanding. And that's what you also got to pray for too, because really that's going to save you. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures, that's going to save you. Being able to decipher through the scriptures and have it in you, that's where, that's what it's about. So let me get James 1:21. It says, wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. You see that? So when you present your body as a living sacrifice, you separate yourself from this world. Basically you're putting yourself on that altar. What kind of sacrifice are you going to give the Lord? You're going to give that sweet, savory smell, or are you going to give that smoke in his nostrils, right? And so that's what it's about right there. And so you have to basically be diligent, really listen. Romans 10:17, and faith cometh, right? Let me get that one real quick. Because you can't build your faith without listening, and taking notes, studying the breakdowns, that the elder apostles were sent to teach us the right way. It says right here, Romans 10:17. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High. You see, by the word of the Most High. And everything's contained in this word, the law, statutes, and commandments, which basically kickstart us into the fear of him. Also, it depends, however somebody hears it. They may hear of the nuclear missiles the destruction that's coming, and that may do it for them, but however the Lord brought you in, he brought you in. He had mercy on you. He gave you his name. He gave you his son's name, so you can call on those names, so you can ask for more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures, so you can ask him to perfect your mind, perfect your heart. These are the things that you have to ask Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and it's mercy, because when he brings that wrath, it don't matter. He's not respecting nobody. He don't give a shit if you're a fucking infant, if you're whatever. He's smashing. Okay, he's coming to smash. And we got to get right, before basically the famine of that word, because there's a lot of prophecies popping off right now, and the major prophecies is that MOTB, that mark of the beast. Okay, when you can find that in Revelations 13 and 16. Okay, the word mark there in the Greek is charagma, which means something that's engraven. Okay, graven work, cut into. Okay, that's the definition of that word charagma, which is the Greek translation for the word mark in the scripture Revelations 13 and 16. Okay, and this was taught to us by the elder apostles, okay, and the elder bishops, the elders on down, and you most definitely see that coming to pass. A lot of people kind of had some insight about things like that prior to the knowledge, but they didn't know it was in the scriptures. I didn't know it was in the scriptures. I was like, wow, man, this is wild right here. And so just to make it short and simple, basically just make your body a living sacrifice, perfect yourself, worry about what you have to do, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Okay, so that's it. And with that, I want to say shalom, and most high willing, all the brothers that I know are of that number, and may the most high bless you, have mercy on you, and shalom.